Welcome back to DreamLeague Season 5. That was Game 1 of our only series of today, and despite Bounty Hunter not having as good of an early start as he had yesterday, maybe next time still, together with his team, we're victorious against London Conspiracy. So at Finem, take Game 1. And it was exactly what you said. If Bounty Hunter can't pressure lanes properly, he has a rougher time. He did have a rougher time, but still ended up winning. What happened in the early game first, though?
I think that was I'd say the normal Bounty Hunter game, though. It wasn't a bad Bounty Hunter by any means.
Yeah.
Just that the other day he got way too much. Like, you don't expect Bounty Hunter to get 10. I mean, if there was a hero in the pool, like when you pick it, you get 15 kills in 10 minutes. I'm pretty sure everyone would first pick it, and it's just not how it works, right? So he gave so much. It's the information part I was talking about before. Like, he scouted smokes in the early game so many times. Like, they smoked with 3 heroes. Those smokes are so important. They're game-winning smokes, or at least early game-winning smokes. And then he scouted them. They wasted sentries, wards. He scouted the stacks, so they always know what they're up to. Like, the amount of information that he gives is actually insane. So he did a lot of work that game. Like, he secured them. The Sven was able to greed as much as he did, only thanks to the Bounty Hunter that was actually scouting heroes on the other side of the map. And overall, I think he did a good job at allowing the Bat Trader to get something. So that's what we saw the Bat Trader just sitting on the lane, right? The Witch Doctor wasn't really like going aggressive on him because he knew that the bounty could be there and the Wisp could TP in as well. So what we mentioned before. So I think he did a great job actually with Bounty Hunter. He played really smart. He was not the Bounty Hunter type that's like, well, he's not getting kills, so he gets a bit impatient, and then he tries to go for like sloppy plays and he dies. And he's a very experienced bounty player. So you can tell with the way he plays, the way he, like, it's very sneaky, and that's exactly how you need to be with Bounty Hunter.
It's very sneaky.
Yeah, he is.
Very sneaky.
Like, behind the trees, you're like, all right, I'm gonna press the smoke. I mean, maybe he's here. Yeah, of course he was. It's like, it's so frustrating for support players. Like, he's some dude behind you somewhere. Like, all right, and they're gonna ban it. Like, it's so frustrating. You're like, just play something else. Like, you're too annoying.
You can't play your own game style basically with
No,
it.
you can't. It's like, it's always like watching you somewhere.
What stood out for you, Slacks?
It was a very interesting game because I was excited to see the Sven take off. Last game with the Bounty Hunter, there was a Sven, he didn't do anything.
He didn't need to,
Yeah, it was all his show, and it was a love to watch. Oh, God. That Sven just put the donk on somebody.
Oh, God.
Again, what is with Emperor Spirits? I'm so sick of seeing it. It's like, he's not a win-your-game hero.
It's because the other heroes, they hit timings before he does. Like, he had actually pretty good game on Ember. Like, he had a good laning. He was like maybe 2-0. I don't remember the score exactly, but it wasn't a tough game by any means. He got decent timing on Battle Fury, but I mean, by the time he gets to Battle Fury and the travel, the Sven has Ascendant Yasha, BKB, Helm, Blink. You're like, well, I'm missing a couple of items in order to fight that guy. And then from there on, like, the game goes, like, the rhythm was way too fast for Ember to, like, do anything, honestly. And what I didn't like from London Conspiracy, I thought they played a solid game as well, but I kind of I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the Void build. I get it. Like, it's not bad by any means. Like, it's good. It gives him killing potential, farming potential. He's fast. He can position himself. But when you run a Mask of Madness Yasha Void, at the end of the day, you want to hit creeps, right? Like, you want to get some sort of farm. So you're not in position. And I feel like sometimes they jumped on the Ember, and the Void connected, but it took him like 3 or 4 seconds, and that more than what Sven needs to just burst on whatever target they last or stun. And had the Void sit behind, like, if the Void is just behind the Ember, for example, and as soon as they jump, he chronos and they counter, they astral the last 2 target, and then suddenly Lich ulti, Death Ward, then the game would have been completely different. And the Void was always, I don't think you want to greed. Like, you don't want to farm with Void when you have Ember OD cores. Like, I think he approached the game wrong, and it cost them a lot. So he's probably have to rethink the way he builds Void for the next game if they have this type of like 2-core lineup.
Yeah, we can take a look at the highlight clip and see how the Void fared in that one. As I really hope there's a Void in that clip, because Scriff has selected our highlight replay. Well, let's see what's happening here. Pause, please. Walk us through this, Mad.
So the Sven is like, he still has the ulti, but it's gonna run off.
He has an Aegis as well.
Yeah.
So he's fine.
He has an Aegis, but he's not in a shape to fight. Like, you see his ulti is on cooldown.
Yeah.
Right here. So you don't really want to fight when that happens. The DP ulti is also on cooldown. So now they're just backing off. They definitely don't want to take that fight. On the other side, the Dire team, you can see the ultis, they have everything. They have Chrono, they have OD ulti, they have Death Ward, and their chasing potential is very good in the Ember, mostly, and the Void, obviously. So they want to take that fight. Like, you can see, like, they're very
running.
offensive. Like, they're going. they're gonna chase them down and try to kill them, and we'll see what happens, how the fight develops. So the Void is jumping. This decent Chrono. I mean, it's decent because you want to get the Wisp in the Chrono for sure. He's the key target, so he doesn't relocate out whoever you Chrono. But it's not enough. So like they get the Wisp, they keep chasing because they still have very important spells, and they know that the Radiant team, they don't want to turn. They don't want to fight this at all. But they do have BKBs to play around, but that's pretty much the only thing that they have. They heavily lack damage actually without Sven and DP being ready to fight. So the Sven goes in. He goes for the OD. It's actually because his ulti came back, so actually he's not. He still doesn't have it. So it's it's not enough damage. He only has the Daedalus, so he goes on them, but it's still not enough. They kite very well actually.
DP has her ulti again, so they need
so
to
that's
run
probably
for this.
they timed it with the DP ulti so they could turn, and I'm pretty sure the Dire team was like a bit surprised. But the kiting is interesting, and you can see the OD ulti did so much, and that like look at that Chain Frost. Like it actually destroyed the whole lineup.
Yeah.
The creeps are on the left side right here. So it just keeps bouncing and bouncing and bouncing, and it actually killed everyone.
Yeah.
And then it's just the Sven, so no matter how strong he is, like they have so much disables to keep kiting, and slowly killing him. They just can't afford to give him like a melee target to just like right-click pretty much, and they didn't. So they played it smart, and they took advantage of the situation. But at that point, the damages were already like pretty high. They lost like a side, the second one. So sure, you get some trade kills, but you can't get any objectives with them. You actually lost like your own objectives.
Do you think that if there wasn't a bounty hunter this game and the smokes wouldn't have been broken and everything like that, it was gonna be London Conspiracy that one?
I mean, that smoke, if it doesn't get scouted, whoever they find is dead. Like they have Chrono, OD, they can. Let's say let's take the scenario where they find the Sven, they kill him, they can go rush even. So I mean, the game would have been so much different, and then the Sven would have. You can't farm carelessly in the jungle with Sven Wisp if Void and OD are missing. So you need to do something else. You need to rotate to another lane, and then that lane is probably not safe either. So I mean, it's just like the whole flow of the game changes. But since the bounty is making sure that they can't pressure, well, Sven farms, and I mean his farm was insanely high. So it is impressive. But at the end of the day, it's a Sven, right? Like the caster said, like it farms so fast, and it's with a Wisp, so he doesn't have mana issues. He can keep spamming like even the third spell to connect faster, like to one camp to the other. He doesn't need a TP, so he can like keep the Quelling Blade for a very long time. So his farm is extremely effective. They stack Ancients. He got Ancient stacks a lot that game. It was never blocked by the Dire team, so the dream.
Yeah. So 2 questions for you. So you think that the game was mostly won by kind of like meta stuff, like support stacking, bounty hunters' presence, and all that. That's what really won the game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, second question. You didn't like Void's build.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Would it have been better if he did the Wagga build of the Radiance?
Oh God, no.
Would that have saved the game?
No, I don't think so.
Happy birthday, Wagga.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Your build sucked.
But I just don't think it works in professional games. I mean, I'm
Why not?
I would love
he's
to
won
see it.
so many games with that.
Yeah, but pub games, because I don't think it works in professional games.
But it's high MMR pub games.
Yeah, but it's still pub games at the end of the day, and he's just abusing the fact that in pub games, no, I mean he's not abusing it, but it's like it's a way that like the hero is strong, and like of other heroes that are very tanky are very strong in pub games because you never have the right heroes at the right moment to gank, right? Like, or let's say you gather them, then the Lion's gonna be like, I stun, and the Venge's like, yeah, I stun too. Well, we stacked stun. Well, he's not gonna die. He's gonna be full life after he uses his first spell, and then he's gonna turn with Chrono.
You took my joke question very seriously.
Yeah, I did. No, because that build is interesting. Like, it's always nice to have players try new builds, and that's sometimes like most of the pro builds. They came from pub games, from either pro players or like
someone
just
discovered it first.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. I can't wait until my refresher Slark build catches on.
Everyone does Menta and Diffu on Spectre now almost all the time, and that came from pubs, right? Like so.
There you go.
Because back then the thing was Radiance in most of the cases.
So before this series started, we took some calls in the studio. And I said that I would see if our producer would be up to answering more calls, and he is, but not until after the series and after our winners interview. So if you want to talk to us and have a question for us that you can't wait to ask in person, or send me in person over the phone, I guess, you can stick around and wait until after the series, and then we're going to take some calls again. So
what if they don't want to call?
Then you don't have to.
Is there any other places that they can get some information?
Oh, yes, there is. Thank you
Oh.
for asking. We have Snapchat, we have YouTube, and we have Twitter. It's all under the
wondering as
same
well.
tag of DH Dream League. And if you have Snapchat, I think there's even a little video of me making sandwiches for all the talent in the
Wow.
studio.
That's going to be used in a lot of different stuff. She for making sandwiches. Gracious me, I might use that in a lot of videos.
In the kitchen.
Oh, yeah, did you actually say
Gracious.
that?
All right, so although they lost, a lot of conspiracy, they're not really looking anywhere near the top. But every game matters in Dream League. $1,000 up for grabs still.
Yes.
It could still happen, and it still would be amazing. What do you think? Do they have a chance next game after what you've seen?
No, of course they do. I don't think they were like they weren't like outclassed. Where like the other team's like way better. They don't stand a chance. It wasn't the case at all. It was actually it came down to like a few things. It's always the case in Dota, and it's also like it's also the reason why best of one doesn't mean so much. So it's good that this time around it's a best of two. Sometimes it's a best of three. So they're gonna adapt to the draft. They probably didn't get what they wanted. I don't know who had the first pick priority. Maybe they wanted it, maybe they didn't. So the second game is going to be very different. I still think that they need to try to control the game a bit more. It felt like they were playing the rather defensive draft, whereas usually they're more on the offensive, that team, if I'm not mistaken. Like when they like to run those Chen lineups where they just like take objectives and everything. In that game, it was a bit different, and the bounty really prevented them from doing so. So I wouldn't be surprised if they banned the bounty. I don't remember who was first pick in the first series, but
It was
as you
it was
said-
the bounty, and on the other
Yeah.
side, it was the Beastmaster Void.
so when they are first pick, they
Was it
can't really
Beastmaster?
afford to. If the opponent team is first pick, they can't really afford to just ban the bounty
OD and Void.
to ban the bounty, because if they do,